sun, a different fire gleams. Forged in the desert, living out the dream. We wear the armor, steel upon our blades. Like the charging night, our passion never fades. They hear the thunder rolling from the stands. The future of the game is in our hands. The sword is drawn, the visor's coming down. We're here to fight and claim our hometown crown. Feel the ground start shaking, hear the battle cry. Raise the purple banner to the Arizona sky. Lace them up, let's go, the moment is at hand. The toughest team to ever grace this land. We are the Knights, the passion and the might, charging down the ice in purple and white. Hear the canyons roar, hear the gold horn blare. We're the Knights, so opponents beware. See Nathan flying, weaving through the pack. Tyler's got a slap shot, there's no turning back. Brody on the boards, a punishing design. Jacob with the puck, he's breaking down the line. The speed of Jackson, the hustle of a Ryer. Christian and Chase are fueling the fire. Tripping Abel, fighting for the zone. This kingdom on the ice, we claim it as our own. We are the Knights, the passion and the might, charging down the ice in purple and white. Hear the canyons roar, hear the gold horn blare. We're the Knights, so opponents beware. Sound off, freedom, trucks to the heavy, ready for war. Sound off, Miles, Robert, settling the score. Sound off, Brandon, Kevin, breaking the attack. And Logan's on the point, there's no turning back. The net is a fortress, a castle of might, locked down by tread, a shadow in the night. The wall stands before you, a legend to be. They call him Matthew when you won't get past the creek. We are the Knights, the passion and the might, charging down the ice in purple and white. Hear the canyons roar, hear the gold horn blare. We're the Knights, so opponents beware. Out of the Gilbert sun, a different fire gleams. forged in the desert, living out the dream. We wear the armor, steel upon our blades, like the charging night, our passion never fades. They hear the thunder rolling from the stands, the future of the game is in our hands. The sword is drawn, the visor's coming down, we're here to fight and claim our hometown crown. Feel the ground start shaking, hear the battle cry, raise the purple banner to the Arizona sky. Lace them up, let's go, the moment is at hand. The toughest team to ever grace this land.
All right, everybody, welcome to Hockey Night in Bloomington, Minnesota here. We have the semifinal game between the AHU Silver Knights 16U team that you should see on the left of your screen in the white uniforms, the home team. And we're playing against the Clearwater Ice Storm from also a 16U team from Florida. They, I believe, lost to the Texas team who just now, the Texas Warriors, who just a few minutes ago lost in the semifinal game. So the winner of this semifinal plays the Junior Canes in the championship game tomorrow morning at about 10:30 Central Time. And this Knights team played the Junior Canes as our first game Friday, and ended up as a 3-3 tie. The worst game by far that the Knights have played this weekend, for sure. We were actually lucky to come out of that game with a tie. And because of that tie, we ended up as the second seed, which put us into this semifinal game against this Clearwater team. So if we play like we did the second two games, dominant, with very high compete level, fast and hard, physical, but not dumb physical to take a lot of penalties, like we did in that first game. And also good, clean, quick, smooth passing. We did that in the second two games, not in the first game. So we come out with that compete level and quick, clean passing. I think we'll be very successful here.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yep, that's what we need. We're going to have, I believe, Matt Yankee started the previous game, so probably should be Trey Boss in net for the Knights. We usually alternate pretty steadily. Got about a minute or so left of warm-up time as these kids get their minds right, ready for the intensity of this game. Really looking forward to this, and welcome everybody who's watching from home on YouTube. While I have a minute, let me give a shout out to Miles Harrison. He's got grandparents in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
Aunt and uncle in Richlands, Virginia, who are watching. So Pops and Nana in Knoxville, Alex and Tracy, Avery and Aiden in Richlands. Welcome and thank you for watching, and I hope we put on a good show for you. I hope we come out successful with a win also. And again, while I got a little bit more time, let's talk about injuries. Our Knights team, and my son has been playing, this is his 11th season of travel hockey, and we've never seen or played on a team that had so many injuries and illnesses that we've had. So we had Xander Turner just came back. Yesterday was his first actual game with this team, even though we started in August. He did play a couple scrimmages early in August and broke his elbow. Just got back with approval for full contact, and he's been playing really excellent. I think very well for being off the ice that long. Xander Turner, probably the tallest guy on our team, maybe the tallest guy on the ice tonight. You'll hear from him quite a lot, I'm sure. We have Brody Smith, who is playing but nursing a pretty serious shoulder injury. It was getting quite a lot worse for a while. He missed the last few games trying to save it up to come and play through the pain here in Minnesota, and he's been doing very well with that. I hope that he's not in too much pain and can have full motion of that shoulder because he's a very important D-man. Which brings me to our other two injuries. We have Robbie Skelly's been out for quite a long time with, he had to have emergency appendectomy several weeks ago. From what I understand, it's been quite a long time, 6 weeks, I believe, that he's been out.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
What I hear is that he should be back with the team in less than a week. So he's going to he missed this tournament, obviously, but hopefully by next weekend he'll be back for full contact, ready to play. And then we have Kevin Bannon, who recently underwent another heart surgery to correct a little issue that he had with, his sort of pacemaker. We hear that just happened a couple days ago and went very, very, very well. And should be back with the team pretty soon. Which is why we have Liam George playing at D. And we can see him starting this game right now with Lawrence back on D as well. So we have 5D usually, but Jacob Beth with a seriously injured foot also missing this tournament. So 3 players out, one of them a D-man. That left us with only 4. So we have Liam George stepping up as our 5th D-man. And here we go. Reinhardt with a nice move in the neutral zone, brings it in. Over to Pastilli, who gets a shot on goal. Around the corner, Georgie steps up, chips it high, and it goes off and out of play. So we'll get an offensive zone face-off here. And a reminder to everybody that we are playing 14-minute periods in this tournament. A little odd. We're used to 15 or 17 at our age group, but 14 minutes for this tournament. Offensive zone face-off win back to Lawrence on the point, who sends it down for Pastilli, who then sends it over to Georgie, but a little bit handcuffed, couldn't quite handle it. We've got a 3-on-2. Lawrence goes down a little too early, but makes the play anyways. Shot goes wide from the point. Lawrence chips it up and out of the zone, not quite reachable by Reinhardt. Pastilli grabs it, skates it in across to Reinhardt and the far boards, who then tries to one-time it on. Tenpenny turns and shoots, but it goes right to Pastilli with a wide-open net, who finishes it strongly. Wow, great start, Knights. Less than 1 minute into the game. Fantastic.
If it hadn't gone in, Pastilli watching the replay, he was there for the rebound. So
Yep.
Great opportunity, great shot. 2 shots, 1 goal.
New Year wins the face-off. Back to Smith, who chips it out of the zone and gets back on New Year's stick, who sends it in deep to the cross corner. And Lindsay's chasing it down there, not quite quick enough. So Clearwater gains possession over to the half boards. Send it across, but can't handle it. Smith grabs it, back out of the zone, back in, going to be delayed offside, or not delayed, just going to call it. Oh, they did change the referees. I thought we were having 2 other referees for this game. They did not that offside. They called it icing. Okay. Headline when he fired that down, but
Yeah,
maybe not. Okay, so New Year with the offensive zone faceoff. And he wins it. Back to the point. Brody Smith throws it in on net. Goalie is unsure where that is, but he's got it covered somewhere in his pads. So another neutral zone faceoff, or offensive zone faceoff right here. New Year wins it again. Back to Smith. Throws it down to Jackson Lindsay. Can't handle it, and it gets out. Nice defense by Heinze. Uses a skate to keep that puck out of the zone. That would be a tripping call, but no, it's not.
No? What?
Seriously, I can't understand how that's not a trip. When your stick goes between the other man's legs and then he falls down because of it. I'm pretty sure that's in the rule book for tripping. But they're going to call that one, though. They're going to call that one. Yeah, what about the previous one?
All right, I'm gonna replay that. You guys at home, let me know what you think. All right, here's the replay of the earlier. They're not calling that a penalty. They just ran it.
Unbelievable. Ours was definitely a trip,
special.
but
Yeah.
so was theirs.
Yeah.
We should have been on the power play instead of even strength.
Yeah.
But we're on PK now. Lawrence and Harrison with Zwaga and Turner. Harrison gets control, backhand chip out of the zone. Clearwater recovers it back in their own zone. Tries to bring it back up. Struggling to actually possess that puck and control it. They throw it in deep. Behind our net, Lawrence there to retrieve. Sends it out and all the way down. With Turner chasing. And, well, lightly finishes the check, but effective as we're wasting time on the penalty kill. Clearwater eventually gets it over and up, but can't handle the pass, so Harrison chips it back down.
What are you going to call that?
Turner grabs it and throws it back down. Did they just call icing?
What? What is going on?
I think the other referee is going to the scorekeeper to find out what the rules are for this tournament. USA Hockey changed this year.
Well, that's not even a change. This is a power play.
For 13U and above, we no longer call icing on a penalty kill. We also do use the delayed offside. It's about time. Canada's been doing that for a long, long time. The United States has now officially changed. This is a USA Hockey sanctioned tournament. We are following their rules.
Okay, they're going to do a center. Okay.
So the refs were unsure of what the rules are supposed to be. They called icing when we were on a penalty kill, but now they're waving that off. That should be an offensive zone face-off because that's where the puck was. They're going to put it at center ice because they made a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, Tenpenny takes that face-off, but it's one back for Clearwater, who's trying to get it into the zone and can't do that as Georgie holds the line. And then Reinhardt comes up, chips it to himself, makes a move, but not quite making it through. Tenpenny back and just throws it deep into the corner. Again, we're on penalty kill, so just throw it down, and hopefully they won't call icing.
Yeah.
Okay, Clearwater again, trying to set up their power play. They've had almost zero offensive zone time. I think zero, really, offensive zone time on this power play. They throw it down into the cross corner. Smith goes to retrieve it, fires it out, but not out. Shot on goal from the point. Georgie gets to that puck, sends it back and around. Tenpenny there on the half wall, gains control. Holds it 2-1, and the Knights are back at even strength. Ryer Olsen comes on the ice as our fifth skater. Tenpenny takes the puck and starts leading a 3-on-2. Cuts back hard, sends it to the middle for Reinhardt. Can't quite control that, ends up in a corner battle. Fighting hard for that possession. Clearwater gets it and sends it into the far corner, then chips it up and out for Lawrence, who gains it in our defensive zone. He skates it up while the Knights are changing. Skates it all the way down. Gets bumped there. Out to Olsen in the neutral zone. Sends it across for Lindsay. Chips it in, can't quite handle. But then does and skates it in and races down into the corner to collect it. Behind his own net, sends it to Olsen, who shoots from a sharp angle, but shot on goal. Lawrence steps up to keep that puck in. He uses his boot to kick it all the way down behind the net. Lindsay there fighting in the corner, gives it to Olsen. Shot, but that's blocked. And eventually the goalie covers it. A little bit of extracurricular chippiness. And we'll have an offensive zone faceoff.
So there is a stop sign on the back of the Clearwater's jerseys, but
it is
full contact.
Yeah. It's really typical, actually, of Canadian teams, Canadian youth teams, to have that. This team is not from Canada. Some U.S. teams have adopted it. And it just means, look, don't hit me from behind. If you can see my stop sign, don't hit me. Nice keep in there by Olsen, who skates it into the corner and battles against 2 Clearwater onto New Year's stick, who then passes it a little off target for Lindsay, who's fighting for it in the corner and sends it to Olsen. Behind the net, but in front of the net, tries to jam it in, but goalie stops it. Goalie covers that puck, and so we'll have another offensive zone faceoff as both teams make a full change.
Five to 1 shots on net.
Now we've got Xander Turner with Dages and Zwaga. And on defense, we've got Hines and Smith. Clearwater ends up gaining possession in their zone, chips it out, but can't keep possession. Hines sends it back out and ends up coming back to him, who sends it across to Smith. And up to the middle to Turner. He skates, he's got Dages with him, who fires it on net. No, it goes wide, all the way back to the point for Brody Smith, who sends it down deep behind the Clearwater net. Okay, we got to move our feet a little bit better than that. We need to chase him. Turner fighting for possession and gains it right at center ice. And gets a shot on goal off the goalie's glove. Zwaga comes up with it and fires on goal. Rebound goes behind the net. Turner's fighting for it there with support from Zwaga. Eventually, Clearwater comes up with it. To the point, Smith sends it back down. Clearwater again fires it out, but Heinze there to chip that over to Pastilli, who throws it in. Knight's going for a change. Clearwater trying to come up with it, but are just a little too sloppy with the puck, so it goes to Smith, who fires it back in. Tenpenny tries to keep it in, but can't quite do that.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, that was very dangerous. Quite a weak defensive play. Their man got in around and couldn't quite pull the trigger, but the puck just trickled right in front of the net. They had no one there to finish it, though, and we eventually barely got it out of danger. Tenpenny now takes it in the offensive zone and sends it down deep for Reinhardt, and then to Pastilli on the end board. Back to Reinhardt in front, and Tenpenny in front, who shoots on goal. Rebound, still loose. Reinhardt shoots on goal, but it is deflected over. Clearwater comes up with it, fire it down, and it actually goes into their own bench. Be interesting to see, is this an offensive zone face-off or neutral zone?
It looks like the players are expecting it to be an offensive zone playoff or face-off. I don't know if the refs have decided yet.
Yeah, it's going to be down at the far end.
All right.
To the right of the Clearwater goalie, New Year for this face-off. Wins it to Olsen. Can't quite get the handle, then loses possession. Goes to Clearwater. Through the neutral zone and chipped in deep. Georgie there to retrieve it. Makes the hit, separates the man from the puck, and New Year comes up with it, who sends it to Olsen, but off his skate and out of the zone. They throw it back in. Georgia retrieves it, skating it out, but whiffs, so he keeps skating. Then to Olsen, who skates it into the offensive zone, makes a move, but nice D there. Clearwater gets it, chips it out. Lawrence just came on the ice, and he gets possession and throws it back in. Lawrence in our own corner, sends it to Olsen, who skates it out of the zone. Got plenty of room to just keep skating. He's got New Year and Jackson Lindsay with him. Olsen chips it on goal. I believe that was a shot on goal.
Yeah, it was just off the side of the net.
So no shot on goal. Eventually came to Lawrence, who threw it back in and all the way around, and then to Hines, and now back to Lawrence, who chips it for Olsen, who enters the zone cleanly with possession and speed and gets a shot on goal. Rebound, comes back to Lawrence, but can't quite handle it. So we have Hines also struggling to handle the puck, gives it up right in the slot, but is still battling for it. Very sloppy from the Knights right here. Eventually goes to Lindsay. But that puck is going on net, so no icing. They have to just cover it. And we'll get another offensive zone faceoff. So, dominating the possession. Almost the entire clock has been in our offensive zone.
Yeah.
But we've given them 2 or 3 extremely dangerous opportunities, and we are very lucky that the puck hasn't gone in our net.
Wide open.
All right. Face-off control comes to the Knights. Xander Turner skates it around the corner and fires it straight on net. Rebound eventually comes to Clearwater. Pressure there from Liam George, but they send it all the way down, and that'll be icing. He was significantly on his own side of the red line.
Just tell George if he keeps playing like this, he may end up a D player.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he would actually like that or not. I'm thinking not, but he's doing excellent. This is only his, I think, 3rd game ever playing D. Turner in there for the offensive zone faceoff and wins it back to Zwaga, who sends it to Georgie, who fires it low and off a skate almost into the net, but goes a little wide into the corner where Clearwater gets it. They send it across, but all the way down, and they wave off the icing for some unknown reason.
What?
Turner with a nice little self-chip to gain control, skates it through and into the offensive zone, fires it.
No, they called
offside maybe, but I did not hear the whistle. No, I believe Turner also did not hear the whistle.
Yeah, I saw the whistle and the sign.
That was a very soft whistle.
Yeah.
Turner seems like he did not hear it. He shot that puck. They blew the whistle just before he fired it, and he's going to get a penalty for shooting after the whistle, which is a penalty, but I believe, again, Turner didn't hear the whistle. So, Knights now on our 2nd PK of the game with just over 3 minutes to go in the first period. Tenpenny wins it back for Lawrence, who goes to get it there, battles for it, and Knights come up with it. Chipped by Tenpenny off the glass, but not out. Down deep into the corner, Lawrence puts his stick down to prevent that cross-cage pass. Reinhardt there fighting all along the sideboards, forcing Clearwater to end up all the way behind their own net. They grab it, but do not really possess it with any control. So it goes to Harrison, who just sends it back in and around. And again, we're on penalty kill, so we are just killing time. Reinhardt battles there on the board against 2 Clearwater players. Comes into our defensive zone, but Harrison is there to make a nice play. Lawrence makes a nice play there and sends it out of the zone. Clearwater regrouping again. They chip it back in, but right to Lawrence's possession, who sends it across our goal mouth.
I don't like that.
I did not like that at all. I don't think Harrison was ready for it. But they do end up firing it all the way down again, just killing time.
40 seconds.
40 seconds left on the PK. In the zone, and Heinze is there now on D, fighting for that. Comes to Olsen, who can't really grab the handle. So they get a shot on goal, knocked aside by Trey Boss near the corner. Clearwater grabs it. Then pressure by Lawrence. So the puck goes all the way up to the top. Bouncing puck. I'm not sure. It was deflected a couple times. I'm not sure Trey Boss saw it, but does get his pad on it. That shot blocked by Olsen. 2-1, and teams are even strength, but I don't like this. Oh, tried to do a stick lift from behind. from our player who had just come off the bench. So the Knights skated all the way down with a nice little 3-on-2 there. Eventually comes to Olsen in the corner. New Year was open right in the slot, but the pass was not accurate. Over to Lawrence, who then bounce passes it to Olsen, who then gets tripped, and this one is going to be called.
Oh, they're going to call it.
I did not hear a whistle. I saw them put the arm up, but when it came to it, I didn't hear a whistle.
I don't know if he's got...
These guys are really soft on their whistles when everybody in not only just this arena, but the ice sheet next to us should be able to hear their whistle. That's how loud it really should be. So, Knights now getting a power play for the first time in this game, with about 47 seconds left in the first period. We need nice, clean, quick and clean passing. First win the faceoff, which Tenpenny does. Over to New Year, who fires it D to D to Lawrence, who keeps it in, makes a nice move, sends it to New Year, but he goes wide with the shot. Lawrence there to regain control. Chase Reinhardt is backing up Lawrence at the point and does keep it in. Tries to send it down, but not successful. It eventually ends up back on his stick for New Year, who barely keeps it in, onto Georgie's stick, who gets a shot on goal. Puck goes around behind the net. They send it around. New Year's going to try and keep it in, and does. On to Reinhardt's stick, who gets another shot on goal. Loose puck in front, but covered with 3 seconds to go. Nice control, nice movement by the Knights. 2 or 3 shots on goal right there. First, win the faceoff. And then let's keep that going.
So 15-4 shots on net as we end the first.
Trip, New Year steps up to try and blast that through, but it is blocked just at the buzzer. All right, that's the end of the first period. Knights are up 1-0, dominating the play, like I said, but also giving up a couple of very scary chances. And we'll come back in just a few minutes for the second period, where the Knights will remain on the power play for about 1:14. We'll be back in a minute.
I'm looking for the first one. It's a pass and it's a shot and it's a goal and it's one of Arizona nights. We just want the second one. And it's a pass and it's a shot and it's a goal and it's 2 Arizona nights. The fans are excited and the parents are in the stands and the boys are on the ice and we're about to drop the puck. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away.
All right, so we're back. Just about to have the face-off to open the second period. We got the number 1 power play line on for the Knights, with Tenpenny centering between Reinhardt and Georgie. We got Trip New Year and Logan Lawrence backing them up. Face-off control comes to the Knights and Tyler Tenpenny, who skates it into the zone. Chips it across the middle, but Reinhardt is not quite there, who chips it up to Lawrence. On his weak side, trouble handling it, but does. Eventually sends it back over to Lawrence, to Reinhardt, who sends it all the way across the Tenpenny. Puck rims around and gets out of the zone. Lawrence chases it down, regroups. Goes for the stretch pass, which should have been could have been a far easier pass since we're on power play. Make the simple pass and make it clean. No reason to stretch that and make it more difficult than it has to be. Lawrence passes it across to Tenpenny. His attempt is blocked. New Year gains it, recontrols. Lawrence then at the blue line. Then for Reinhardt in the high slot. Keeps control, chips it down. Tenpenny should be getting there. Not quite quick enough. Reinhardt keeps it in. Day just picks it up and fires it in. But that is picked up. And Clearwater skates it. Where both teams are at full strength now. Clearwater getting some zone time and a shot on goal. From the point now, but that's blocked by Lawrence, who gains control. Self-chips and keeps control. Sends it back around for... We don't have another D-man on the ice right now. I really don't know who's playing D besides Lawrence. Reinhardt skates all the way in, gives a beautiful pass to Dages, but it's just a little behind him, handcuffed him a tiny bit. Clearwater comes all the way down and gets a shot on goal. Again, who is playing defense? We now have Brody Smith and Miles Harrison on D. We generally go with one D-man on our power play, but we are in second period, and we have a long run to our bench. So we were stuck out there with only one D-man at full strength for quite a long time. D-zone faceoff, and Turner wins it into the corner for Harrison, who sends it back around to his D partner, who sends it across the middle of the ice, but intercepted. Then sends it to Turner, who loses it to Clearwater, who sends it in. Brody Smith again goes behind the net to gain possession, and sends it around to Turner. Turner not quite fast enough to get there. So it ends up at the point. Knocked out of the zone by Zwaga. But back in.
Yeah, that was way offside.
Brody Smith going for the hit just as they blow the whistle. Again, soft whistle. We need to hear that quite a lot louder. All right, so a neutral zone face-off. I believe they called offside. Stilly wins it and sends it deep to Reinhardt. Tries to send it back to Pastilli, but instead it goes towards the net. So Reinhardt gets it back. They send it around. Lawrence is pinching to grab it. Puck bounced just before he got it, and therefore his chip didn't work very well, but it comes onto Pastilli's stick.
16!
And
16!
a little mix-up there between Lawrence and a Clearwater player. They're going to take them both, offsetting penalties.
Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know if that's
I did not see the
penalty worthy.
I didn't see the replay there, but they were mixing it up with each other a little bit after the puck was gone.
Yeah.
Tenpenny wins the faceoff to Pastilli, and back to Harrison, who gets a shot on goal. On to Reinhardt's stick, trying to control it, but pressured by three Clearwater players. Nice hit for... They're going to call that a penalty?
What?
That was shoulder to shoulder.
All right, let me replay that guy.
Okay, wait. They're not. Wait, what are they calling there?
Icing?
They blew the whistle. Okay. Okay, icing. They blew... Okay, I didn't see that. All right. We win the faceoff up to Georgie at the point. Shoots, but barely wide. Tenpenny behind the net. Gives it to Pastilli, who shoots just barely over the net. On to Georgie's stick, who sends it back into the Clearwater zone. They chip it, but without any control whatsoever. Send it all the way down, and that should be icing, and it is. Yeah, I missed that previous icing because I was watching the hit, but just as the puck left, Pastilli made a beautiful neutral ice hit. They blew the whistle instantly, so I was a little puzzled why it could be icing so quick, but this time it definitely was icing. We get an offensive zone faceoff for Trip New Year here. But Clearwater wins it. They gain control. He steps around Georgie. Georgie was looking at the puck instead of the body. So they get a shot on goal, easily gloved by Trey Boss.
looking at the replay, Boss should not have seen that. There should have been a little more between the player and our goalie there.
Scuffle for the faceoff, but Clearwater comes up with it behind our net. Up to their point, they shoot it, but wide of the net. Trey Boss covers again. So we'll have a defensive zone faceoff to the left of goalie Trey Boss. New Year's taking this faceoff. Wins it over to Olsen. Olsen a little slow getting to it. 2-on-2 battle there. Ends up coming behind our net. Clearwater grabs it, but then New Year grabs it. But back to Clearwater, who tries a wraparound. Unsuccessful, and New Year just chips it up and out of the zone. The puck slows down. No icing. Knights keep control, send it in, but it's deflected up and over the net. Comes on to Lindsay's stick, who gets a shot on goal, gloved by the goalie. So an offensive zone face-off here, both teams with full change. We got Turner and Zwaga and Dages, backed up by Georgie and Harrison. Clearwater wins the face-off. Skates it up and sends it across and into our zone, but it comes onto Georgie's stick. Back to Clearwater, who sends it in deep behind our own net. Georgie still going for it and does chip it up to Dages, who can't handle. Goes to their point man, who keeps it in. Now back to Georgie. Trying to handle that behind our own net and does onto Turner's stick. Again, this is getting very sloppy for the Knights.
Yeah.
Not the pace and clean possession that we saw the last two games. But Turner skates through the neutral zone, through a couple guys, loses the handle, and it goes right on net. Another offensive zone faceoff. Penalty is over. We didn't see it because it was a offsetting, but Lawrence is now out of the box and on the bench. Clearwater wins that faceoff into their own deep corner. Gains possession, but Harrison keeps it in. Dages now battling for it with help from Turner, who comes up with it. Zwaga shoots it, but wide of the net. Back down. Georgie keeps it in with a nice play, even though he absorbed the hit. Somebody lost their helmet several seconds ago. The refs did not see it. When a player loses their helmet, it's supposed to be an instant whistle.
Let me see if I can figure out where and how that even happened.
I don't know. It must have been in this board battle with, several seconds ago.
Yeah. Yeah, ran the replay. The Clearwater player was just... Are they going to send it to neutral? Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a neutral zone since our player caused the stoppage.
Yeah, the Clearwater player was just kind of skating in circles, waiting for the ref.
Knights win the puck to Lawrence, who chips it in. Ends up going back to Lawrence. Can't quite keep possession, so it ends up going to Clearwater, who then sends it up into our zone and onto the end boards. Brody Smith there to stop them. Reinhardt tries to hit Pastilli, but just out of range, but Pastilli catches up to it anyways, puts on the brakes. Tries to send it to the middle, not quite. Ends up on Reinhardt, and that is from behind our net, fires it out to the point, but Clearwater chips it out of the zone. We regroup in our own zone. And that one will go for icing. We need to have a lot cleaner possession. Again, we are not playing to the same level that we did the last two games. We need to pick up the pace, the intensity, the compete level, and clean up our passing. All right, Tenpenny with a D-zone face-off after the icing call. Ends up on Reinhardt's stick, who skates it between three and then passes it to Pastilli, who tries to send it back over to Reinhardt and does, who tries to send it to Tenpenny, but not quite. That puck's going all the way down for icing from Clearwater. So we'll now bring this puck all the way back in front of the Clearwater goalie for an offensive zone faceoff. New Year taking this faceoff between Olsen and Lindsay, backed up by Georgie and Hines. Behind the net for Lindsay. Georgie keeps it in, but can't quite control. So Heinze grabs it, sends it over to Lindsay, who is regrouping, but softly loses possession. Clearwater now has it in their offensive zone. New Year grabs it, sends it over, picked up by Olsen. Shot off the post and right back in front, but no rebounders. Nice shot by Olsen, just a millimeter off target. Olsen grabs it, skates it in, leaves it for New Year. Dangles a little bit, skates behind the net, looking for something, looking for an opening, and he's got Olsen there. Olsen wanted a one-timer, but not quite accurate enough. Sends it up to Harrison at the point, shoots, but that's blocked. And therefore, he's got to skate back hard to prevent a breakaway. Ooh. He does, and it ends up as a 2-on-1. Olsen finishes. Oh wait, they're going to get a penalty.
Yeah.
And we finish. The puck comes to Lawrence in the neutral zone, who skates it up, tosses it over to Lindsay, who finishes that. Very nice. Knights are up 2-1. We were on delayed penalty. I didn't quite catch what that penalty was going to be.
Yeah, it was going to be cross-checking.
Okay, a cross-checking in Clearwater takes an offensive zone penalty, although we scored before they called it, and so that penalty is not going to happen. We get the goal or the penalty, not both, and we'll take the goal. So with a 2-0 lead, 6 minutes to go in the second period. Back behind our own net. Brody Smith bumped quite hard, but shakes it off and keeps moving the puck forward. Up onto Turner's stick, who makes a nice move, can't quite keep it. Drops it for Zwaga, who shoots, but well wide of the net. And then up to Clearwater in the neutral zone. Defended by Heinze. Puck goes behind our goal. Chipped around for Dages. But Clearwater gets there first and sends it right across the goal mouth. Controlled and then sent out of the zone by Heinze. Sent across, but eventually onto the Clearwater stick and offside.
You know, watching the replay, you see Clearwater still had somebody way, way in the zone. Easy call. Got 19-7 shots on net in favor of the Knights.
Okay. But 2-goal game is not quite good enough. Yeah. Anything can happen. There's still a lot of time left. Knights win that neutral zone face-off to Tenpenny, who sends it to Pastilli, who sends it down and around. Tenpenny in that corner. Comes to Reinhardt and back to Tenpenny. Then back to Reinhardt, who gains full control. Then back to Tenpenny. And right in front for Pastilli, but he does get tied up. Eventually to Clearwater with somewhat of a breakaway as Heinz and Lawrence are left to do nothing but chase him. But gave enough pressure that the man could not finish it. Lawrence from right next to his own net passes it to Reinhardt, but off the stick and all the way down for Clearwater, who takes it behind their own net. With forecheck pressure from Tenpenny and Pastilli, but they get it out. Lose control onto Heinze's stick. Puck comes out of the zone for Reinhardt, who then skates it in, but with pressure from two players, then loses it. Eventually back onto Tenpenny's stick, who fires it down and around, and they fire it, and that should be icing, and it is. Both teams seeming to get a little bit, perhaps, tired. As the pace, the intensity is slowing down. I really do not want to see that from the Knights. We have to be able to keep this going with a high compete level for all 3 periods. One timed by Brody Smith, tipped in front. Over into the corner for Olsen, who keeps battling. Then sends it up to Harrison, but it bounces over his stick. So he chases that down into our own zone. He turns, chips it, but not hard enough. That's got to go off the glass. Eventually ends up on Olsen's stick, who skates it out and across for New Year, who tips it all the way deep and chases him down and finishes the check. But it goes to Olsen in the corner, who battles for possession, keeps possession, skates around behind the net, sends it up to the point for Smith, who fires it, but it goes off a shin guard. Back to Olsen, who fires it off another shin guard and out of play. Knights change the forwards. Now with Turner, Zwaga, and Dages. Still backed up by Harrison and Smith. Turner in for this O-zone face-off. Clearwater wins it, sends it behind their own net. Dages is going in there to win that possession, and he does. Tries to send it to Turner, but it goes off a leg. Turner chips it over to Zwaga. Zwaga sends it up. Brody Smith can't quite keep it in with his stick. Harrison does not finish the body, so they get a breakaway, but Trey Boss there.
Whoa.
Clearwater player from his knees tries to send it in front of the net, but it gets blocked and goes behind the net, around over into the far corner. Skirmish there. Eventually comes up onto Turner's stick, tries to chip it to Dages, but Dages was no longer in the, ready for it. Back to Turner again. Doesn't quite grab the handle. Clearwater sends it in for Brody Smith deep in our own zone, who then softly chips it right onto their stick. Shot well wide of the net, but Trey Boss gloves it anyways. So we'll now go for a D-zone face-off with about 2:25 left in the second period. Knights leading by 2.
Let's replay that breakaway from earlier. Trey Boss holding strong.
Knights win the face-off. Lawrence sends it up, but it goes to their point man. Lawrence there in the corner bumps his man and grabs possession. Skates with it, cuts back, sends it right to Reinhardt, who tries to chip it to Pastilli. Doesn't work, but gets it anyways. Clearwater grabs it and throws it out of their zone and then skates it into ours. Shot on goal, right for Trey Boss's glove. Okay, D-zone face-off here taken by Tenpenny. With Reinhardt, Pastilli, Georgie, and Logan Lawrence. Oh, that puck sent out. I don't know why they're changing. It almost touched their guy, which would have been too many men. I don't know why they're changing just after a face-off. That puck chipped up around Georgie, so here's Logan Lawrence trying to defend a 2-on-1, and he does. And then makes a huge hit right behind our own net. And eventually reaches for control, but not quite. Clearwater sends it across, but tipped by Trey Boss into Lawrence's glove, who then has to throw it down under pressure. Eventually to Georgie, who chips it up to Tenpenny, who can't quite get control. Clearwater chips it, but stopped by Lawrence and thrown back into the zone. On to Pastilli's stick, who sends it to Tenpenny right in the slot and fires it on goal. But blocked by the goalie. And then over and across to Olsen at the top of the circle, who completely finishes it for a 3-0 lead. Under a minute to go in the second period.
So they say that a 2-point lead is the worst lead in hockey, and we got through that. So
Yes, we did. 3 goals now. Not that we can relax. Absolutely not. There's still far too much time. But you can start letting off on the offense just a little bit. Reduce your offensive risk. Reduce your defensive risk. And focus on keeping your lead. Puck comes to Smith, who tries to clear the zone, but a nice stop by the Clearwater player. Gets down on his knees, then back up on his knees. Fires it across the goal, but for nobody really. Comes to the Knights, to Hines, who sends it around up for Olsen. But Clearwater sends it back in. Delayed offside, so they just need to clear the zone. Then to Hines, and then back to Olsen. He's just trying to finish the period.
yeah.
A little too much time. You need to actually just keep playing. You can't just delay and hold the puck at your own blue line for 10 seconds. Maybe 2 seconds, but not 10.
No, what are they going to call here? They're going to call an offside, or they're going to throw a penalty? I saw an arm go up. Olsen has 2 sticks.
The ref's like, I'll take that. Who owns this stick? Oh, they are taking both of them,
Okay.
mixing it up a little bit. Not really sure why. Maybe some, extracurricular wrestling while they were both down on the ice.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll play 5-on-5 for about 1.5 seconds to finish this period. And that'll be it for period number 2. I really need our Knights players to find some energy and bring the compete level back up to where it's supposed to be. Yes, we're doing very well. We got a 3-0 lead. We are controlling the puck nicely, but not to the expectations that we have for this team.
Yeah.
Could be higher compete and cleaner handling, and if so, then we'll have absolutely no problem.
20-10 shots on net as we in the second.
Okay, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back in a couple minutes for the third period.
We just want the second one. And it's a pass and it's a shot and it's a goal and it's 2 Arizona Nights. The fans are excited and the parents are in the stands and the boys are on the ice and we're about to drop the puck. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack and we are gonna take this game away. The boys are back, they're on the attack.
All right, the boys are back and ready for the fourth period. 14 minutes to go here. Fourth period, why not? Third period, here we go. Knights gain control. Sent in deep by Dages. Ends up on Zwaga's stick, who's tried to send it to the middle, but easily blocked by Clearwater. They skated up through the zone. Sent it over to off the boards to basically nobody. Lawrence picks it up behind his own net. Chips it over to Dages, who then fires it back around. Zwaga is waiting for it when he should be skating for it. This is, it looks like everybody suddenly took a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
Or something. Put on their lead boots.
Maybe coach said, hey guys, slow down.
Teams. I'm sure that's exactly what the coaches said. All right, we got to pick up this energy. This is going to get real ugly if we don't. Even with a 3-goal lead, if we don't skate harder, this could get dangerous. Lawrence putting on the pressure all the way across the neutral zone. Back to Harrison Stick, who over to Zwaga, who then chips it to Lawrence as a D-man, but playing right now like a centerman. and then goes for a change, and all the Knights changing. But Clearwater, far too slow to actually start moving that puck, so we complete our change and put the pressure back on. Georgie now deep into the corner, wins the race and gains possession, sends it up to Pastilli on the half board. And into the middle to Reinhardt, who skates it in, but then gets pressured and loses possession, but Georgie keeps it in. Back for Reinhardt. Backhand into the middle for Tenpenny, across to Pastilli, but off the stick, but not quite into the open goal mouth. Wow.
Wide open goal mouth.
That was unfortunate. Pastilli just could not quite handle it. It was a great play. Clearwater ends up with the puck, chips it out of their zone, but really are not possessing it at all.
No.
Just slapping it around. They take it around behind their own net. Far too slow. Ends up on Heinze's stick, who sends it to the middle for Tenpenny. Skates it down, cuts to the middle, gets a shot on goal off the leg pad onto Reinhardt's stick, who tries to turn and throw it back on net, but can't. Clearwater man trips his own player, his own teammate. That looked to me, I got it, I couldn't see it. I'm at the far end of the ice.
I'm going to run the replay.
I thought it seemed like the Clearwater guy was down on the ice and tripped his own guy, but I could be wrong there. All right, so it looks like
Watching it.
Reinhardt's taking the penalty.
Yeah, it was a
2-minute tripping minor. So we come with a D-zone face-off on the PK with New Year, Hines, Lindsay, and Harrison. New Year wins the face-off to Lindsay, who pushes forward. But they get a shot on goal. Heinze then just chips it, and it does make it out of the zone. Clearwater regrouping back at their far end. Tries to throw it up, but loses control. New Year grabs it and throws it back down and eventually wins that battle.
in a 1-on-4.
Clearwater seems to be losing energy faster than we are. This is the fourth game for both of these teams. Fourth game in 2 days. But there's no excuses for 16-year-olds, for sure. All right, Clearwater getting some zone time here on their power play. And I can't believe he was able to skate out from behind the net and right into the front of the net with no opposition there. New Year comes into the corner, wins the battle. Heinze gets it, but hits their player right in the chest, who then gets a clean skate onto the net, makes a nice move around Trey Boss, and finishes it for their first goal of the game. That was just a little bit too nonchalant clearing shot by Heinze there. Instead of using the glass, he tried to shoot it straight down and ended up hitting their guy right in the chest, who easily gained possession and scored that goal. All right, so back to a 2-goal lead with 10.5 minutes to go in this semifinal game. Clearwater gets it, sends it down deep. Georgie there into the corner. Does get possession, sends it to Dagis, who sends it up for Turner, gets out of the zone, all the way across. Now Lawrence gains it, skates it through the neutral zone, throws it in, just wide of the net. Our forechecker not quite there on time. Lawrence comes across and makes a huge hit at the blue line to keep the puck in and stop the man.
And gets a shot on net.
Clearwater grabs it, throws it out of the zone. Oh, boy. Miscommunication by the D-men. Lawrence gets it. Georgie backs him up, but not in a very clean-looking way.
No.
Both D-men right there struggled with that play. And they both just went out for a change. Clearwater comes back. Nice defense by Smith, but Smith knocks it off of his stick. Unlucky bounce for the Knights. Goes right into the slot onto a Clearwater stick, who then finishes it easily. And we now have a 1-goal game with 9 minutes and 22 seconds to go. We got to bring the energy. The Knights are losing energy very quickly. We got to bring that back right away. Clearwater wins that faceoff, gets control, but Reinhardt over to the boards, can't quite handle it. Still maintains it, but can't get it into the zone. Smith then fires it back, gets hit from behind as he does so. Ref is standing right there, but no call. Clearwater then skates it in, shoots it on net, gloved, but rebounded by Boss. Chipped around by Harrison, but we have no forward there, so it goes right to their point man. Harrison then grabs it up for Reinhardt, who then tries to hit Pastilli across the middle, but doesn't, so it goes all the way down for icing.
Watching this hit from the back.
Yeah, well, we don't have a stop sign on the back of our jersey, so I guess it's okay.
Yep.
D-zone faceoff here, taken by Tenpenny. We need to win this. We have to win this faceoff. And he does. But Harrison moved forward, so didn't gain control. So Clearwater keeps it into the zone. Tenpenny eventually gains it and is skating it out through the neutral zone. Sends it over to Reinhardt, who can't grab it. And then loses an edge. Tenpenny then just fires it all the way down. It goes right next to the Clearwater net. They fire it out. Blocked by Smith, but not able to keep it in the zone. He throws it back in. Clearwater regrouping. Sends it up to the neutral zone. Can't handle that, so it goes to Smith. Tenpenny then chips it in. It goes on to Olsen's stick, who then fires it on net. And nobody's touching this guy who gets the puck right in front of our own goal, but luckily he makes a bad pass. Comes to us. Shot on goal, a little bit high, but goalie touched it and went over the net. One-timer from New Year, but far wide of the net. Lawrence pinches down, gives a little drop pass to New Year, who throws it on net, but misses wide. Then Olsen grabs it. Fires it, I think saved by the goalie up into the netting out of bounds.
Yeah, watching the replay on this one. When he gets the shot, the goalie gets the blocker.
Okay, offensive zone faceoff. We really need to win this and have a clean possession here. New Year does win it. Back to Olsen, who sends it into the corner and chases it. Comes in hard for the hit. New Year sends it back up to Heinze, who sends it back down to New Year. New Year not sure what to do with it. Loses possession, goes to Clearwater, who then chips it up and out. Heinze chasing it. Oh, he overskates it. And we have a 2-on-1.
Ooh.
But stopped by Trey Boss.
Beautiful block.
Still behind our net. They throw it right in front. They try to shoot on goal, but it's far wide. Hits Heinze in the helmet and then goes to the corner. Olsen grabs it and skates it. All the way down to the far corner. Tries to throw it on net, but blocked. Now battling on the end wall. With help from Lindsay. And they do win possession. Almost goes on net, but grabbed by Clearwater and thrown out. Georgie grabs it here in the D zone. Has to work very hard to get it out, and does. All the way down behind Clearwater net. Throws it in front. Onto Olsen's stick. Not sure what to do with it, but chips it out of the zone. Takes an elbow for that. Goes to Clearwater, who then regroups. Back to Olsen, who then throws it in. Clearwater coming back. Harrison on D. Gets a stick on it and a body. Dages here. Grabs possession. Onto Turner's stick, who gets it out of the zone and maintains possession to keep skating. Nobody else with him, so he throws it on just wide of the net. Yeah, both teams seem to be like dying.
Yeah.
Energy dropping very rapidly for both teams. It's going to come down to who can have cleaner possession. Smith grabs it, throws it in. And again, this time on net. Blocked and kept alive by the Clearwater goalie, who throws it all the way down. That puck is bouncing. That's very, very dangerous. But luckily, Harrison did stop it. Shot on goal. Rebound. Boss tried to cover it. A little bit of a quick whistle there from the referee as he lost sight of it.
I will take it because that was a dangerous bounce.
Yes. Knights with a 1-goal lead, 3-2 with 4:53 left in the third period. Full change for both teams. Now we got Tenpenny with Reinhardt and Pastilli, our top forward line. We got Lawrence and Hines on D.
26-16 shots on net.
Tenpenny wins the faceoff and gains his own possession. In the corner, Lawrence comes up with it, skates it out, skates it out, skates it out, skates it out, chips it up for Pastilli, who then continues. Pastilli cuts back hard. Then it ends up on Reinhardt's stick, who throws it on net and a rebound. But Clearwater comes up with it, sends it out of the zone. Lawrence steps forward and grabs possession, then throws it back in deep. Clearwater behind their own net and try to throw it up. Hits somebody. Bounces into an open space where they gain it. Tried to shoot, but blocked by Hines. And chipped out of the zone by Pastilli. And then on to Tenpenny's stick, who skates it into top of the circle, fires it, but wide of the net. Grabs it behind the net, throws it on.
Whoa.
Rebound comes onto Pastilli's stick, but again, so quick that he couldn't quite finish. And Clearwater sends it all the way down for icing. So we get a tiny little break right here, which both teams need. And we'll get an offensive zone faceoff as both teams change. Turner comes up with possession after the faceoff and in the corner and makes a nice move to keep possession, tries to shoot but blocked. Ends up on New Year's stick, who throws it back to Turner, who throws it back to New Year as he was skating to the front of the net, but can't quite keep the handle there. Clearwater gets it and throws it in deep into their own corner. Lindsay grabs it there in the corner and chips it up, but kept back in and thrown back down by the Clearwater point man. Back onto Lindsay's stick, who this time does throw it all the way down and will go for icing. I have no idea how to give these kids energy. They have to find it deep in themselves. 3 minutes to go with a 1-goal game. Turner for the faceoff here in the D zone. Ref waves out the Clearwater player. Turner wins the faceoff, gains control himself around the corner to New Year, who just sends it up and down all the way.
Did it go enough for icing or no?
Does not go icing, slowed down just enough that they waved it off. Clearwater tries to send it all the way up, bumps off the ref. Harrison tries to win control. Doesn't get it, it goes all the way around. Shot on goal. Clearwater gains possession. Georgie gets the body behind the net. Clearwater chips it around. Nobody there. Harrison goes in and takes the body, but Clearwater maintains possession, chips it up to their own point man, but off a leg of Lindsay, and it goes out of the zone. So Turner skates it, gives it over to New Year, who gets a shot on goal and a rebound. Turner was right there, but couldn't quite grab it. Ends up back on New Year's stick. He shoots right in front, passes right in front to Turner. One times it, but blocked. Back to New Year behind the goal. Wide in front of the net for Lindsay, who shoots it way over the net. Lindsay fires back down and around behind their net. New Year battling to grab possession. Does right onto Lawrence's stick, who gets a shot on goal, but blocked aside by their goalie. D-zone hand pass is allowed. Both players were completely, and the puck were all completely in the D zone. Shot on goal is blocked and goes over the net. Around, Lawrence keeps it in. Still in, but Clearwater gets possession. Sends it to the middle. Both teams extremely slow now. That point shot goes 17 feet over the net and hits the netting.
So the timekeeper
forgot to start the clock.
forgot to start the clock.
What was it, about 10 seconds?
About 15 seconds.
About 15 seconds extra that Clearwater's getting when they're down by 1 goal.
Yeah.
Because the timekeeper simply forgot to touch the button.
It's like we got a timeout.
Well, I would not be surprised if Clearwater is going to make a plan for pulling their goalie. A minute 37, they're down by 1.
Yeah.
Knights are fading fast. Clearwater is trying to energize because they know this is it for them.
Yep.
Lose and go home, win and go to the championship. And it'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Knights. I would not be surprised at all if Clearwater starts this face-off with an empty net and 6-on-5. Clearwater coach making sure the players know how to do that, how to handle that, and how to move the puck around. Knights simply need to dig down deep for the energy to race, to win those races and win those battles. Minute 37 left in the game. Really should be more like a minute 25. Yeah. No, Clearwater goalie is in the net. Tenpenny needs to win this faceoff. And he does not. It goes to the Clearwater point man, who sends it across to the other point man and in deep, but Georgie's going to win that race. And the battle gains possession up to Reinhardt, but can't grab it.
Their goalie's not moving at all.
Georgie behind the net, who makes a big hit. Clearwater still with possession then, and their goalie's still in the net. I can't understand this.
Crept out a little bit. Do we have a penalty?
I did not see a penalty. I'm not sure exactly what happened. No penalty, just a stoppage.
Okay.
I didn't understand the ref's hand signal. I'm not sure what happened. Tenpenny does not win this face-off. Goes to Clearwater. They throw it behind the net. George is going to get there, body his man, take possession. Reinhardt does throw it up. Pastilli off to the races. Might get a breakaway. Certainly a shot on goal, but no, it goes wide. We cannot have that go wide. That's a turnover. Except for Tenpenny was hustling to get there and keep it in. 50 seconds left in this game. Clearwater cannot control that puck. So the Knights throw it back down deep, wasting precious seconds for the Clearwater team as they fail to control.
Clearwater goalie
send
is
it off the play.
Out.
Lawrence just grabs it and sends it down, but that will be icing since we are even strength. That was not a smart play.
It looks like they're going to pull their goalie.
They're pulling the goalie now. Lawrence should have sent that off the glass to take off some of the energy, so it would have bounced into the center ice instead of going all the way down. We really did not need an icing and a D-zone face-off there. Now we're playing 5 against 6 as Clearwater has an empty net. Turner needs to win this face-off. And does, but it goes right on net. Ooh. Trey Boss grabs it. Killing one more second. 23 of those seconds left to go in this third period. Again, we need another face-off win. Turner Lawrence shoots it down, but just misses the net. Turner wins that right to Lawrence, who was on the hash marks. Lawrence takes one stride and shoots it down, misses the net by about a foot. So that is an icing call. We'll have another D-zone faceoff, but that one killed 5 seconds. 18 left to go. Now we have Olsen in for the faceoff, and he doesn't win, but Lawrence steps in to take possession, then loses that possession in the corner. Clearwater throws it across the goal mouth. Shot on goal, but blocked aside. 5 seconds to go. Turner throws it down, is rolling slowly as time expires.
That's final.
And the Knights barely come out of this semifinal alive with a 3-2 win. They're ecstatic and they need a good night of sleep because we come back to this arena, although we will be playing on the outdoor rink tomorrow morning for the championship at 10:30 in the morning Central Time against the same team on the exact same ice sheet that we had our first game this weekend, the Junior Canes from Carolina.
The freezing sheet of ice.
It will be really quite cold, especially for all us Arizonans here in Minnesota on an outdoor rink. And that game, like I said at the top of this broadcast, that game ended in a 3-3 tie. But the Knights played far worse than actually what we did in this game. So if we can get that energy, bring it back, and use it for entire 3 periods tomorrow morning, I think we can be very successful. So, again, boys, get some fuel, get a good night of sleep, and hopefully you viewers out there in YouTube land, we can see you tomorrow morning at about 10:30.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will catch you tomorrow morning. Stay tuned for highlights.
Yeah, desert heat, but we skate on frozen flows. Arizona nights, stacking wins, piling goals. Blades cut the ice sharper than a hawk's dive. Opponents freeze up, they ain't making it out alive. Blocking shots, wall built like a canyon wide. Stick down, gloves up, leave no room to slide. We dominate, intimidate, no room for the meek. Chirps flying faster than a puck through the crease. Desert ice kings ruling the night, scoring goals, crushing dreams. Take flight. Mind is a fortress, puck stops on demand. Opponents' hopes crumbling like desert sand. Power plays deadly, penalties a feast. Chirping so sharp, we unleash the beast. Forecheck like a thunderstorm, relentless, loud. Fan base electric, hyping up the crowd. We win, we grind, we shine under the light. Desert born warriors, Arizona Knights. Desert ice kings ruling the night, scoring goals, crushing dreams. Take flight. Yeah, desert heat, but we skate on frozen flows. Arizona nights, stacking wins, piling goals. Blades cut the ice sharper than a hawk's dive. Opponents freeze up, they ain't making it out alive. Blocking shots, wall built like a canyon wide. Stick down, gloves up, leave no room to slide. We dominate, intimidate.